Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this very small market update in which we're going to have some updates regarding Bitcoin as the options expiry has finished. And what did happen? Nothing. And basically what we have been making or saying in the video yesterday, that's essentially what happened, in which the actual effect of the options expiry actually took place before the event happened. So what has happened with the initial options expiry is that the effect of the rollover to new contracts or expiration happened in the drop the days before. So essentially right now the market is just moving on, the FUD is just gone, and it's just a technical corrective move which got into support, which is completely fine to do so, in which we can have a new continuation here. I've made this analysis yesterday and I've shared it on Twitter. I'm going to share some thoughts on this, but do not forget to subscribe to this channel and like the video beneath, in which we are growing really fast, and it helps me to get to a bigger platform as we have reached 50,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. Massive. We are growing really fast, about 15,000 this month, and that's truly a blessing. In which we are also going to do some cool stuff today, which is rebranding, it's a cool name, or rebuilding this entire YouTube studio that you see here. Over here on the bottom, yes, there we go. We've got some stuff lying down, and I'm sitting next to all the new screens and the new desk and all the new paintings that we're going to hang on the wall here. So that's going to be happening today. So most likely on Monday you will see the first progress, or I'm going to share some pictures. So do not forget to follow me on Instagram as well. Now, the markets in itself, we can see that we've got some serious momentum here on Bitcoin, as we most likely have been bottoming out. However, I've been mentioning this effect in general, in which we can conclude that we might be getting some retests of lower levels before we can start continuing this entire momentum in general here. So if we go back in history, if we go back in history, we can see that we had a similar period after the halving period, like in which we are testing the highs, make a sustainable range, act sideways before we start to continue moving. So you can see which levels are very important to watch in this case. This critical breaker is a very interesting one. This critical breaker is a very interesting one, after which price rejects. Then this becomes an interesting breaker. Then this becomes an interesting breaker. Then this becomes interesting, and then we start to accelerate. So if we get to this chart, and I'll just put up a clean one to see where we are standing. What is critical right now based on the daily time frame? That's this entire region here. So anything above 85.5 is going to bring the markets to new all-time highs. Is that expected? I'm not expecting it to be happening at this stage, in which I'm assuming that we're going to have a range-bound construction. Might we still retest this low? That is possible, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But overall, these are the range-bound levels that we are watching in general on the markets here. So now we can start looking at, at the lower time frames, in which we can see what analysis I've made. So we've got the higher time frame levels, which are critical. And now we've got the lower time frame levels that are also critical, in which we can say that we've got a clear resistance zone at 55.5 to 56.3. Slightly higher is still possible. We got into that level, and we've also mentioned that this previous support zone at 54 is most likely going to break through, as that is the most obvious short everyone is going to try to catch, while actually the breaker is found a little higher at 56, as that is the previous lower high. So if the market starts to become bullish or wants to become bullish, it has to crack this level here at 56, which I'm not assuming it's going to do so, as people are currently FOMOing back into the markets because of the options expiry just passing by, not having any effect. And through that, I'm assuming that we're just are going to roll over again through the next week, possibly even test these lows, and then we start bottoming out. So then we might be getting that retest of 49.5. What should you be doing? We have discussed the short opportunity yesterday, through which we're getting into that short range right now. If you want to catch the short, go ahead. I'm not the dude to short right now in these markets environments. I'm the one catching the dip. If you want to trade alongside me, do not forget to check out the link beneath. That's the site where where you can become a member of our group. But as a matter of fact, the levels that are crucial right now is 56k. That is a critical level to break through. If that breaks, I'm assuming we're going to get that test at 58.5 to 59. If, however, it fails to break, I'm going to look at this range around 53.8 to 54.2, as that is the breaker on the downside. And that's where I'm going to look at for a potential bounce. If that fails to hold support, then we get this entire scenario that we have described here, which is still very healthy in general. And then we might be getting into, at least the alt season is going to last way longer or continue if Bitcoin is bottomed out. So that's what I'm looking at right now. If we get Ethereum Bitcoin, I do not have it here. All right. Then we can have Ethereum against USDT, basically the same figure. So Ethereum against USDT is showing us signals in which we are definitely bottoming out. I've said that if we can't break 1750 as a support again, I'm looking at 1500 as a next support zone. Beautifully got there, massive bounce up. It's about like 12 to 13%, but we're getting in that resistance zone again. So most likely we get something like this, and then we start running upwards. That entire scenario is invalidated if we crack 1750. I'm not assuming we will. If we do that, definitely I'm going to bring a new update to the markets. But so far, everything is fine. So take care, trade safe, without leverage, orders calm, be disciplined, and I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh new market update. Stay tuned.